On the news, gas explosion lands couple in University of Benin Teaching Hospital, buildings and other property destroyed. Nigeria Customs Service alerts public on influx of fake gas cylinders. Ahead of kickoff of All Africa Games in Morocco, Flying Eagles coach says team ready to make impact. Good to have you on the news. I am Oris Esima Anireta. A couple in Warri is lying critically ill at the University of Benin Teaching Hospital UBTH following severe burns they received after a gas cylinder exploded in their kitchen. The gas explosion also affected the entire buildings and nearby structures at Okomagba Estate near the B division of the Nigerian Police Warri. The camera team of John Osuji captured the clips presented from our studios.
It was pandemonium at Okomagba Avenue area of Warri as a cooking gas exploded in an apartment and severely burnt the couple. The woman, it was gathered, was in the kitchen of the apartment preparing food when she noticed that there was leakage from one of the accessories. According to eyewitnesses, the woman drew the attention of the husband, who now came to fiddle with the fault. It was gathered further that the cooking gas was on while the husband attempted the repairs, and this sparked off the explosion.
Cooking gas, keep it inside his kitchen, and not only 1, 2, 3. And one was cooking, the other one was leaking. So he tried to tight the head. That's where the explosion comes from.
We just see the first noise when we hear it, may few before we know. Fire door shoot, zig pull us. So that's why we say when fire take the catch.
The police from B Division Warri had earlier rushed the couple to the Central Hospital Warri for medical treatment, but were referred to UBTH because of the severe burns suffered by the couple through the gas explosion. A relation of the couple who just returned from UBTH confirmed the incident and said the couple is responding to treatment. Other persons at the scene regretted the ugly incident and advised residents to be careful while using gas to cook.
My advice is say people when they use gas, maybe they put am for outside.
If somebody wants to use gas, they put the gas bottle outside. If the gas bottle where you're supposed to put the gas bottle outside is nearer to your kitchen, you put more oil through the bath, so they will pass the oil through that place to the kitchen to start cook what you're cooking. To put gas bottle inside house or inside kitchen is not fair.
Most of these gas we are buying today, the gas bottle we are buying, most of them are forged by all these our local welders. That's the problem we have got. Not everybody go to buy the original gas from all these total filling station. Those are the original gas bottles.
Meanwhile, members of the public have been alerted that gas cylinders have expiry dates. The residents were perhaps responding to the warning from relevant authorities that gas cylinders expire.
If they expire, maybe they check whether it don't expire, because when it don't expire, it will leak.
Another source of concern to many residents is the indiscriminate location of gas plant depot and gas retail outlets in residential buildings in Warri and its environment.
Meanwhile, the Nigerian Customs Service says fake gas cylinders have flooded Nigerian markets and warned gas users to beware. This has prompted a cooking gas advocate advice that Nigerian homes may start experiencing bomb-like explosions in their kitchens on account of fake cylinders. The warning follows reports that 38 million worth of cooking gas cylinders have been impounded by the Nigerian Customs Service in the latest clampdown on importers of fake cylinders. Former national coordinator of the women in LPG group, Mrs. Nkechi Obi, expressed worry about the contentious of rampant cylinder explosions in Nigeria users' kitchen. Mrs. Obi further disclosed that the federal government has recently launched a campaign to ensure that up to 13.8 million households adopt LPG for their cooking in the next 5 years. She stressed that unrestricted importation of fake cylinders is harmful to the Nigerian economy and goes contrary to the quest by the nation to become self-reliant because cylinders are now manufactured locally. In spite of a series of warning and cautions by personnel of the Federal Road Safety Corps on the use of phone while driving, the ugly trend still continues among road users. The occupant of this vehicle, a woman, lost control and rammed into a mounted billboard with minor damage on her car. The incident occurred along the NPA Expressway near the Wangwe market in Warri. Traders at the market watched as the woman who was on phone while driving lost control and rammed into the billboard. Two women at the market who saw her while driving react.
And God, when he said, I'm saying, as they made the call, not this speed. If you say this speed, when they make the call, not run the toss, so that they could talk. So speed not good. Making call and driving not good.
Anybody when they drive, they know they make call. It's not good. Although this thing when it happen, we don't know whether they make call or this thing, they take and they advise the rest people.
The woman came out of her car on hot because she was not on speed. Apart from the use of phones by vehicle owners while driving, other women are seen driving carrying their babies on their laps. Following the alleged killing of 3 policemen and a civilian by soldiers of 93 Battalion Takura, Taraba State recently, the Center for the Vulnerable and the Underprivileged Centrep has called on President Muhammadu Buhari to set up a panel of inquiry into the dastard murder. A statement signed by Centrep Executive Director Ogenejabo Ikimi said Centrep condemned the alleged murder of 3 policemen attached to the IGB intelligence response team who were on investigation to Ibi Taraba State, where they arrested one Alhaji Hamisu, indicted in series of high-profile kidnap incidents in that state. The statement adds that while the police authorities had revealed the names of the alleged murdered police operatives as Inspector Mark Ediale, Sergeant Dahiru Musa and Sergeant Usman Danzuma, the dead policemen, according to police authorities, were one of the best trained police intelligence officers in the country. It adds that there is urgent need for all security outfits to work together to abate violent crimes in the policy, saying that a call for a panel of inquiry is to investigate the immediate and remote causes of the incident and provide solutions to prevent a reoccurrence in the nearest future has become necessary. The force headquarters of the police hierarchy in Abuja accused the army of releasing the kidnapped kingpin who was on handcuff after killing the police officers. The police challenged the army to locate the whereabouts of the handcuffed kidnapped kingpin inside the police patrol vehicle at the time of the shooting incident. Christians have been charged not to live a careless life, but to learn to win souls for Christ through their actions. The state governor, Dr. Ifeanyi gave the charge on Sunday when he attended a Thanksgiving service to round off his second mega convention and dedication of a 7-floor prayer tower of the Church of God Mission International at the Bam of Gilead Camp, Benin City, Edo State. The report by our Government House correspondent Miriam Wike is filed from our studios.
Governor Okowa stated that giving thanks to God for his many blessings to mankind is a glorious act and charged Christians to always give thanks to God. While praying that God should strengthen Christians in the country, Governor Okowa noted that God has a purpose for the country even with her present challenges. He acknowledged the importance of preaching salvation and the kingdom of God rather than things of the world, adding that Christians should work hard through their actions to inherit the kingdom of God. Senator Okowa thanked the church for inviting him to inaugurate the prayer tower built by a member of the church, Mr. Ephraim Nwanchukwu, noting that Christians should at all times serve God with whatever they have. The governor appreciated the church for celebrating his 60th birthday with him, disclosing that his mother died in a ghastly motor accident at the age of 43, and that attaining 60 years means a lot to him.
I am very definite that the God that called us is able to renew our strength. That strength that will enable us to conquer. That strength that will enable us to say boldly that we are Christians.
High point of the service was the commissioning of the 7th-floor prayer tower by Governor Okowa.
In another development, Governor Ifeanyi Okowa led top government functionaries to felicitate with Senator Irota Amori on his 67th birthday celebration at Mosuga. The colorful celebration attracted politicians from all over the state. The report.
The 67th birthday celebration of Chief Irota Amori held in Mosuga in Itup West local government area had a convergence of political heavyweights in Delta State. To many, it was an opportunity for the coming together of the Ibori political family, which began in 1999. Governor Ifeanyi Okowa at the ceremony described Chief Amori as a great politician who had contributed to the unity and strength of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in Delta State. Chief Amori, the governor, noted he is a bridge builder who has the interests of his people at heart. Governor Okowa particularly commended Chief Amori for ensuring that the political family of Chief James Ibori remains intact and united for years while the former governor was away from the country. He wished Senator Irota Amori well and thanked him for using his birthday to create the opportunity for the congregation of politicians in the state. Former Delta State Governor Chief James Ibori, who chaired the birthday celebration, described Chief Amori as an exemplary politician who believes that God alone gives power. Chief Ibori particularly commended Chief Amori for being steadfast in politics and in the PDP despite the travails, as well as for being dependable ally to the Ibori political family. For his part, Chief Amori recalled his sojourn in politics and thanked Governor Okowa and Chief Ibori for the roles they are playing in the politics and development of Delta State. He appreciated all for the prayers and wishes for him at 67, pledging to continue to give his best to humanity.
So on behalf of myself, my entire family, people of Mosuga, people of Mexico, and the local nation, I want to congratulate you on this midday. We have everything to thank God. Even if you come and tell me, I have everything to thank God. So I am thanking God to you for what God has done for me. And this is how from the 1 to 7, I think God has done very wonderful.
Prominent Deltans, including Senator Peter Warboshi, Honorable Solomon Fukenkeme, and Captain Pius Senebe, described Chief Amori as a go-getter and a man with a large heart.
I didn't quite discover Amori when we were together in government house. But I really discovered Amori after we left government. Amori is a very good friend and is standing by his friend.
He's a man who has served his people. He is a goal-getter. He has transformed this community to what it is now. He has created a lot of things, and we thank God that he is still able to be around and to celebrate with us. We wish him many more years to come.
Chief Amuri is a brand, and you know that don't need further introduction or necessarily further branding. It's a brand. A lion meant to be introduced as a lion. A lion is a lion. He has proved himself as an astute politician, a politician that can be depended upon.
He's a man that lived all his life politically for the people, and is a product of the people, and is meant for the people.
God has blessed him, so we can only wish him good health. We can only wish him longevity. We wish him more opportunity to touch more lives.
Chief Igorota Amori and family had earlier at the Assumption Catholic Church, Masuga, offered thanks to God for keeping him healthy and strong at 67 years.
As part of activities marking the 2019 International Youth Day in Delta State, the Commissioner Directorate for Youth, Comrade Ifeanyi Gwega, has called on youths to equip themselves with relevant skills required to navigate the technological advancements of the 21st century. Speaking at the youth conference put together by the Directorate to mark the 2019 day in Asaba, Comrade Gwega said the greatest challenge facing the youth today had been restiveness, which was the overall strategy of the United Nations to ensure that young people are equipped with relevant skills. He charged youths in the state to reorient their mindsets on ethnic values to build a stronger Delta.
That youth are very, very hyper. They have a lot of energy also this day. So we need us to talk. We need to get feedback from you.
In a goodwill message, the State Commissioner for Information, Mr. Charles Aniagu, expressed the need for youths to be driven by ideas to enable them realize their dreams. Mr. Aniagu noted that youth restiveness could create economy challenge and advised them to channel their energy to more progressive ventures. In the same vein, the Director General, Delta State Directorate of Orientation, Mr. Eugene Uzom, said the time has come for youths to be the center stage of governance, adding that when the government and the general public are not on the same page, governance becomes difficult.
And then you hear that ideas rule the world. Yet you don't want your thought process to be driven by ideas. We understand that the youth is the leader of tomorrow. That's what he said, right? Yes. But it has been changed. That the youth are leaders of today.
The 2019 International Youth Day celebration featured lectures on the theme Transforming Education by Bridget Agwefeda. The event also featured questions and answer sessions. As part of a strategy to build a more united and stronger party in Delta State, that is in the Delta South Central District, the chairman of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in Delta South, Chief Julius Takeme, on Tuesday visited some key political players in the locality to solicit support in order for him to succeed. Correspondent Ogeneruna Oyibo reports that Chief Julius Takeme familiarization visits to the leaders in their respective homes sued for cooperation from the leaders in order for the PDP family in Delta South to maintain its lead in political activities in the state. The report. The prominent leaders of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in Delta South Senatorial District included the senator representing Delta South Senatorial District, Senator James Manager, the chairman of the Uwe Wari Development Agency, Chief Joseph Otumara, and the member representing Wari South Constituency 2 in the Delta State House of Assembly, Honorable Austin Ureyi. Addressing the leaders of the party in Delta South, Chief Julius Takeme stated that as major stakeholders, there was need for him to consult with them as their family advice and experience in politics would be needed by him to succeed. He acknowledged major roles played by them previously, which have placed the senatorial district ahead of others, appealing to them to give that same support to him. The Delta South PDP chairman, who assured that he would call for regular senatorial meetings, tasked the leaders not to relent in their commitment to the advancement of the party.
We have come to consult with you that after going around the leaders, stakeholders of the senatorial district, we also intend to call a senatorial meeting where everybody will come together and we will chart a way forward for our party.
The senator representing Warri South Senatorial District, Senator James Manager, the chairman of the Uwe Warri Development Agency, Chief Joseph Otumara, and the member representing Warri South Constituency 2 in the Delta State House of Assembly, Honorable Austin Ureye, in their separate responses, hailed the senatorial chairman, Chief Takeme, for the familiarization visit, as it further affirms their commitment to the growth and development of the party. The leaders tasked him to run an all-embracing tenor where all members of his executive and other party supporters will be carried along in the scheme of things in the party.
For us to get that done continuously, we need peace at the capital. We need peace at the party. Because from the party is the nucleus on which you can now spread out to preach the gospel of that PDP.
A great man is never measured by the amount of money that he has. It's not. You know, I always say something like there's something more than money. That is virtue.
The consultation visit to major key players in the politics of Delta South by the senatorial chairman, Chief Julius Takeme, continues. A chieftain of the Social Democratic Party PDP in Delta State, Mr. Kensington Amiweru, who is also the party House of Assembly candidate for Warri North constituency in the 2019 general elections, has led thousands of his supporters to join the People's Democratic Party PDP in a carnival-like ceremony. Mr. Kensington, an engineer, described his defection and that of his loyalists to the PDP as the best decision, and stated that it was due to the performance and development initiative of the incumbent governor of the state, Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa. He noted that the governor was already fulfilling his aspiration for the state, and it is only natural to encourage him to do better by joining hands to fast-track his development plans for Deltans. He maintains that Dr. Okowa has already exceeded expectations of Deltans, and there is an urgent need for all to support and encourage a working and performing administration for the overall development of the state. Also speaking, Ogenewede Timothy commended the leadership of the Social Democratic Party for giving them a platform for the election, and commended the leadership of the People's Democratic Party for their unity of purpose in moving the party to a greater height. He expressed his heartfelt thanks to the state the State Deputy Governor, Dinkin Kingsley Otwaru, Honorable Thomas Ireyetomi, Member Federal House of Representatives, Warri Federal Constituency, PDP Chairman, Delta State, Olorogun Kingsley Esiso, Honorable Michael Dide, Chief Godwin Ebosa, Mr. Aduge Okorodudu, Chairman, Warri North Local Government Council, Dr. Isaac Wilkie, and others for their show of love to him and promise to make the party move forward. Prominent political gladiators from the ruling All Progressives Congress APC were absent at the 80th birthday celebration of the first national chairman of the party, John Odigi Oyegun, in Benin City, Edo State. Prominent APC bigwigs absent at the birthday of the former party national chairman were President Muhammadu Buhari, party leader Bola Tinubu, and present national chairman of APC Adams Oshomole. The party leaders did not also send representatives, as their absence may not be unconnected with the frustrated relationship that existed, which forced Odiego Oyego out of national chairman of the APC. The Oyego birthday party was, however, well attended by prominent members of the opposition, the People's Democratic Party PDP. Those in attendance were the national chairman of PDP, Prince Uche Secondos, chairman of the party in Edo State, Chief Dan Obi, even as former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo sent his goodwill message through his representatives. The embattled governor of Edo State, Godwin, former governor of Edo State, Lucky Gbenedion, the SMA of Benin Kingdom, Chief Gabriel Osawuru, the Speaker of Edo State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Francis Okiye, and the Minister Designate representing Edo State, Osagi Ehanire, were at the occasion. Warri North Local Government Legislative Arm will on Thursday hold a public hearing on 3 bills for consideration and passage into law. A statement by Mr. Ogienowa Rex Ukperi, legislative officer, says the 3 bills include the Warri North Local Government Consolidated Internal Revenue 2019, the Warri North Local Government Waste Management and Environmental Sanitation Regulations and Other Related Matters 2019. The third bill is the Warri North Local Government Water Transportation Regulation and Control 2019. The statement adds that the venue of the public hearing is the Legislative Chambers, Warri North Local Government Council Secretariat, Kuko. The statement also says guests are expected to be seated at 9 in the morning. In his bid to recover more of government's stolen property, the governor of Imo State, Emeka Ihedioha, led all the tax force officials and stamped the residence of the former Accountant General of Imo State, Mrs. Stella Udogu, who served under the former governor Rogers Okorocha. A shocking video reveals how the recovery team of Imo State government recovered mansions, landed properties worth millions of nairas, and luxury cars parked both inside and outside garages. The former accountant of Imo State, who served in a space of 2 years, is now said to have allegedly acquired the properties with stolen funds. The Imo State recovery team set up by the new administration of Governor Emeka Ihedioha had recently recovered shocking properties from former Governor Rogers Okorocha, his wife, and close family members. Recall that the former Imo State governor, now a senator, fell out of favor with all Progressive Congress APC before the campaign for the 2015 general elections, when he attempted to make his son-in-law the governor of Imo State. The plan, however, fell apart following the crisis that rocked the politics of Imo State, and the People's Democratic Party (PDP) emerged victorious during the polls. In furtherance of its humanitarian service, the Rotary Club of Saple Urban under District 9141 is poised in doubling efforts in eradicating polio from Nigeria and improving living standards in Saple and its environs. The new president of the Rotary Club of Saple Urban, Mr. Emmanuel Adidi, who spoke in Saple, says that in line with the vision of the Rotary Club International to render humanitarian services to its immediate community, the Saple Urban Club will continue to make its impact felt in the area. Mr. Adidi also said the Rotary Club of Saple Urban, through its members' contribution and collaboration with other relevant stakeholders, has raised literacy awareness and boosted the quality of education in Saple local government area. The president of the Rotary Club of Saple Urban said also the club has other packages to improve the living standards of Saple residents.
Looking forward to the positive eventful year. Then, I was worried. How am I going to run the club and maintain the standards set by the past presidents of this club?
The immediate past president of the Rotary Club of Sapele Urban, Judith Nwachukwu, who is a Paul Harris Fellow, says that the club has made giant strides in the area by executing community projects such as donation of books, school bags and a library to several public schools. Rotarian Nwachukwu urged members of the Sapele Urban Rotary Club to support its president in order for them to reach out more to the less privileged and contribute meaningfully to the betterness of Sapele and the Sapele local government area. The event was attended by the chairman of Sapele local government, Eugene Inuaga, the district governor of 9141, Mr. Nze Anizo, among other prominent persons. Meanwhile, the director of military chaplaincy, Colonel Reverend Bante Kolche, will on August 17, 2019, inaugurate the Delta State Command of the Eagles Chaplain Corps at the Ughelli Township Stadium by 10 in the morning. A statement signed by the Commandant General of Eagles Chaplain Corps Chaplain Sunday Obi says the OV of Ughelli Oharisi III will be the royal father of the day, while the patron chief Jean Orido Apostle Sheye Okotie and Chaplain David Sunday are chief host. The statement enjoined all members of the non-profitable organization to be seated by 10 a.m. as the Director Military Chaplaincy Delta State Command will be chief host. The late Orosun of Okere Urubu Wari Kingdom, Edama II, has been described as a disciplinarian gentleman to the core who stood for integrity. The Warri South Local Government Chairman, Dr. Michael Tidi, was speaking when he led the Vice Chairman, Chief Divine Inyovusa, and other management team of the council to pay a condolence visit to the Okere Urubu people. The report.
The Warri Local Government Chairman, Dr. Tidi, advised that the departed monarch was in support of the unity among the various ethnic groups living in Warri. He urged the people of Okere Urubu Kingdom to immortalize the late monarch so as to encourage younger ones to emulate his stance on discipline and integrity. Dr. Tidi stated that as a young man, he looked up to the late professor in terms of academic pursuits.
Even while certain persons were trying to drag his name to the mud, he chose to remain focused, calling for peace. There are issues His Majesty talked to me about. I was so close to him, but for me to hear that he was sick, it actually broke my heart.
Responding, head of Okumagba dynasty and prominent chief in Okere Urubu Kingdom, Chief Emmanuel Okumagba, described the visit of Dr. Tidi and his entourage as eloquent testimony of the regard the local government council has for the kingdom. Chief Okumagba stated that the late monarch never allowed shortcuts to achieve success in his time as an academician and linked the departed monarch's biological affinity to Gwangwe and Kiagbodo communities.
We are indeed grateful to the council for all that he has enumerated by way of support, both before the Oroswe traveled. You have eulogized him for his academic brilliance, his person as a disciplinarian, very forthright. He's a man of peace. His tentacles are very well spread in our environment.
Chief Emmanuel Okumagba assured the Warri South Council delegation that they would be duly informed of the rites of passage of the departed monarch.
And on sports, Nigeria have announced an 18-man squad for the 2019 All-African Games men's football event in Morocco. The coach of the Under-20 Flying Eagles team, Paul Aiwogun, invited majority of the players that were part of the 2019 FIFA World Cup in Poland. The Flying Eagles have been training in Abuja for the past 2 weeks as they aim to make the nation proud. The Under-20 Nigerian team will play their first match against the Stallions of Burkina Faso in Group A on Friday this week. Other countries in the group are host Morocco and South Africa. They invited Flying Eagles players, Plateau United Ibrahim Abubakar, Success Makajola, Lamid Quadri and Deton Ogundare, Emeka Chinonso, Collins Soor, Sacid Jubril, Ahmed Gali and Adeshina Gata. The midfield has Peter Elotu, Adewole Olodoye, Lamin Guade, Samuel Nojuri and Abubakar Ibrahim, while goalkeepers are Deta Ogundare and Matthew Yakubu. And still on sports, as part of preparations for the 2021 African Cup of Nations qualifying series, the Nigerian Football Federation NFF has arranged a warm-up international friendly for the Super Eagles. Towards this end, coach of the senior national team, Gennard Roy, has submitted the Eagles list to the Nigerian Football Federation. Gennard Roy has submitted a list to the NFF as the international friendly against Ukraine will be played on the 10th of September 2019. The Nigerian coach, it was gathered, has already started planning for the 2021 African Cup of Nations qualifying series. It was also gathered that the coach is leaving no stone unturned to make a real impact during the 2021 African showcase. In the latest FIFA ranking, Nigeria is ranked 33rd best team in the world and would meet Ukraine ranked 25th best in the high-profile international friendly match. The Super Eagles of Nigeria placed third at the recent AFCON in Egypt. The Nigerian team begins their qualification matches for the 2021 AFCON tournament November 11 against Benin Republic at the Ogbe Stadium in Benin City, Edo State. Other countries in the Super Eagles group are Lesotho and Sierra Leone. The two top teams are qualified for the finals of the AFCON 2021 tournament to be hosted by Cameroon. And with our report on sports, we'll wrap up the news for the moment. Thanks for being part of us. But before we go, let's look at the highlights. A couple in Warri is lying critically ill at the University of Benin Teaching Hospital UBTH following severe burns they received after a gas cylinder exploded in their kitchen. The gas explosion also affected the entire buildings and nearby structures at Okumagwa Estate near the B division of the Nigerian Police Warri. We also brought you the report that the Nigerian Customs Service says fake gas cylinders have flooded Nigerian markets and warned gas users to beware. This has prompted a cooking gas advocate advice that Nigerian homes may start experiencing bomb explosions like the explosions in their kitchens on account of fake cylinders. Thank you so much for being part of it. Stay now for the rest of our programs.
Afraid of the future. We are here to shape it with MBA Forex and Capital Market Investors. We teach, we train, and we mentor. With a minimum investment of $1,000, you get 15% monthly with 5 million naira